When the incident at Hojai occurred, I had found out about it late evening, and since then I was emotionally gutted by the entire incident because it was quite close. It was quite close in proximity to me, and I couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if this was me.
Apart from the obvious that such incidents of violence and assault are traumatizing and potentially life threatening, it is very disheartening that this issue has been sidelined to a large extent by the media, general public, even our friends and family.
I genuinely joined this profession because I wanted to help people and I wanted to save lives, and I was aware of the commitment that involved. The hard work, the sleepless nights, the countless exams, the lifelong study, and I wanted it anyway. But lately, I'm feeling like whether it's worth it.
You may have skipped meals, you may have lost sleep, you may have missed out on personal events for your work, and despite all this, you are faced with violence. It's quite demoralizing.
We are available round the clock to attend to emergency calls, and I used to situations where a patient has been wheeled in moribund to begin with, but families somehow turn it on the doctors when we're unable to save them.
It really does bring down your hopes, and you kind of sort of become hardened towards the system and quite cynical, if I must say.
We're not complaining, it's a rite of passage for junior doctors. But the reason the situation has amplified to this extent is because no one has ever had to face a pandemic of this magnitude, where death and loss is at an unprecedented high. Emotions are running high among the family of the deceased, and more often than it should, it's translating to violence. So I have the privilege of having access to adequate security because I work in a private hospital at present, but it's the doctors who work in peripheral and rural centers as well as in government hospitals who should but don't have similar access.
Junior doctors, I would say, are more at risk solely due to more time spent around patients.
Junior doctors are the doctors who are there in the wards throughout the day, whereas senior doctors come only during rounds. And two, junior doctors are considered to have a certain lack of knowledge as compared to senior doctors, whereas I would say it's more of inexperience for the junior doctors and not the lack of knowledge. It's really sad, but people do think nurses are below the doctors in hierarchy, but whereas they're at the same level as doctors in hierarchy. I cannot do the job of a nurse, and neither can the nurse do the job of the doctor. So we work side by side and not above the nurses.
There are different fields of medicine, and non-clinical specialties such as pathology or microbiology have less patient interaction and are thus less susceptible to an altercation. Even among clinical specialties, some such as cardiology, surgery, obstetrics, general medicine, and even emergency medicine are much more susceptible as the environment is intense and emotions run high among patients and their bystanders.
Often areas where there are poor patient outcomes despite adequate patient care, which include departments like emergency medicine, an ICU team comprising of intensivists, anesthesiologists, internal and respiratory medicine physicians, pediatricians. But I think right now in the pandemic, people of all disciplines have joined hands to do COVID duties, which makes all departments equally vulnerable.
I work as an emergency resident, and in the emergency department, we deal with a lot of very sick, acutely ill critical patients, and we also deal with a lot of death. So we are trained to break bad news gently and to counsel family members in matters of life and death, which may require urgent decisions from them.
And dealing with patients and their attenders it's not just your textbooks. There's so much more to it. It's a completely different profession, which is why it is necessary for doctors and the medical fraternity and the healthcare workers to be offered and ensured proper protection.
What we also learn along the way is to always be aware of exits, to mind our surroundings, to ensure that we don't get cornered in some part of the ER, and also observe family members very closely for things like body language, verbal cues, etc., to identify actual threats. Now, it's quite ridiculous that I have to do this on a regular basis. I would like very much to be able to focus on supporting the family through this tough time and also dealing with the medical aspect of my job. But I have to consider my own safety at all times.
If this was a mobile store and your mobile got spoiled within one day, you wouldn't hit that person. But if this was a hospital and your loved one passed away in a day, you surely would feel angry and sad, and you'd feel despair. And
Majority of us embarked on this journey with a passion to save lives and not to make money at your expense. In fact, most of us are salary workers. If a hospital lacks a facility, it is not the fault of the doctor, but we will try our best to get you the care that you need. I can understand the pain of losing a loved one, but this is not the way. If you feel you have been wronged, there are systems in place to help you, and if the respected authorities find the doctor guilty, his license can be revoked. Violence is not justified, and it is a legal offense.
Of course, we still do draw our motivation from our work and from the amazing things that we can do every day thanks to our training. And I have to say, most of our patients are extremely grateful for what it is that we've done for them. And it's just these small few incidents of violence which cast a really tall shadow and are extremely demoralizing all around.
I also request some empathy, especially during these pandemic times. Most of us are overworked, underpaid, understaffed, and mentally and physically exhausted. Some of us have not seen our families in months, and our only motivation is the patient. If you make us feel like it's not worth it, then the only one who will suffer is the patient.
To see comments on social media like, why are they complaining so much? No one forced them to take up this profession, and it's all a big medical mafia. That's very true. No one forced us. It was a personal choice that meant a great deal. And while we started out hopeful and passionate, such incidents definitely do act as a deterrent to our motivation and passion.